Shuffle up and stay a while. Haha, here we go. Ooh. Oh yeah. Welcome to Buckeyes and Friends. Shuffle up and stay a while. Haha, here we go. Ooh. Oh yeah. Welcome to Buckeyes and Friends. Shuffle up and stay a while. Haha, here we go. Ooh. Oh yeah. Welcome to Buckeyes and Friends. Shuffle up and stay a while. Haha, here we go. Ooh. Oh yeah. Welcome to Buckeyes and Friends. Shuffle up and stay a while. Haha, here we go. Ooh. Oh yeah. Welcome to Buckeyes and Friends. Shuffle up and stay a while. Haha, here we go. Ooh. Oh yeah. Welcome to Buckeyes and Friends. Shuffle up and stay a while. Haha, here we go. Ooh. Oh yeah. Welcome to Buckeyes and Friends. Shuffle up and stay a while. Haha, here we go. Ooh. Oh yeah. Welcome to Buckeyes and Friends. Shuffle up and stay a while. Haha, here we go. Ooh. Oh yeah. Welcome to Buckeyes and Friends. Shuffle up and stay a while. Haha, here we go. Ooh. Oh yeah. Welcome to Buckeyes and Friends. Shuffle up and stay a while. Haha, here we go. Ooh. Oh yeah. Welcome to Buckeyes and Friends. Shuffle up and stay a while. Haha, here we go.
Bringing on up there. All right. If you hear, yeah. So I'm David Robbins, getting ready to do a Florida recap. Well, originally our plan was to have just my practice one for the Florida recap from one of the lower ranking players. And but
All right now.
other news has came out since then. So we'll new set and other versus news. If you have or have not heard, we will discuss that. And this will bring us right into the Buckeye conversations. But let's not hold people up. I mean, I about to say I don't think people plan to be here because we didn't even plan to be here, but here we are. Well, we planned, but we didn't plan for a time. But I guess let me introduce the caller, fellow Buckeyean that's not from Ohio, from Buffalo, Ohio.
Yeah,
Uh,
I like that. Ohio,
Buffalo,
something like
Ohio.
that,
Yeah,
right?
yep, yep, yep. So we have Tevin Campbell, the Black Knight. I mean, he been balling since he came into the game. I mean, since he came in and to the end of it, he been balling. I guess we could say now.
Right.
But he took a break and but I mean, it sounded like it was a good time. But we will get all into that. So do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, of course. Tevin Campbell, half of the Plot Twisters, official Buckeye and Fran's, heavy on the and Fran's. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, we're here to talk about playing some cards.
All right, all right, all right. So we're gonna start from the beginning of verse. We probably do a little bit kind of interviewing, but we're gonna talk a little bit about
Mhm.
Florida. So just to give people fair warning. So tomorrow I will be doing another interview with the either all or most of the top four from Florida. I'm gonna be interviewing them tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that would be happening. But this is the first time I'm actually doing an interview for an event I wasn't at. So I want to get more information. So I figure I do a test one with one of the lower ranking person. Do I refer to your lower ranking from now on,
I mean,
or
it's sad that I had to go out that way, but we'll say it was a temporary hiccup.
okay, temporary
You know,
hiccup. Okay, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
well, yeah.
I had to sit at the kids' table for this event, but I'm not used to that.
Uh,
You know what I mean?
so there were two Buckeyes there. So like I say, he don't share in this alone. But and y'all probably wondering why, like, why you got Tevin? There are people in Cincinnati and stuff who went, I mean, dating and stuff. Why you going all the way to Buffalo? Well, just to talk our showing from the beginning. So Tevin, when he first got in the game, he joined the Bill Phase League, right?
Yep. Yeah, I started with Mr. Ben in the Bill Phase League.
Right, right, right. Apparently the best clubhouse in the versus community. That why I hear. That why I hear been told. But but so they had a boss battle format where you had to actually go into a format with a teammate, and and little Tevin was just looking for a body, and I was looking for somebody to play along with, and we just kind of connected. So from
Yep.
there, we ended up winning that event, surprisingly enough. But we had to be in that event. You had to talk a lot with your partner. I mean, before the game, sometime during the game, there was a lot of communication. So I think we almost got like synced on the tune level for like how we do a deck build. So a lot of our ideas,
Right.
it kind of yeah, from us playing again and stuff. So
Hmm.
let's talk about pre Florida. So you end up playing Dumamu. But what was your option that you were considering before you got there?
Yeah. So I was actually on Dark Phoenix until like 2 days before the Florida Regional, and it was a build that we were working on, and it had a lot of utility in it, but I had found that in testing the limited testing that I did, she was having to take too many hits before we can get there, and I wasn't hitting the lokes consistently enough. And trying to think about what the meta was going to be, I thought Molecule Man was going to show up with a lunch and a snack. So knowing that, we kind of came up with a Dormammu build that looked and felt really good if that was going to be the meta. So it was I had with me Dormammu, I had Dark Phoenix, and then I had a Daredevil mono build, which ended up taking all the bacon. So that might have been the right choice there too. But you know, you can't really do too much if you're trying to guess what the meta is. So we went with that hunch and tried that.
So just to kind of recap, I mean the events you have played at since you've been playing versus what couple mid winners,
Mhm.
couple Gen Cons, right?
Yep.
Couple Ohio's,
Yep.
and then with Florida we gonna get to. Is there anything else I'm missing in between there?
Yeah, I did the Jersey. I got to
Oh
the
yeah,
finals
or
in
Delaware,
Jersey
Yeah,
or
Jersey,
Delaware. Yeah, Delaware.
Delaware,
Yeah.
yeah, Delaware, yeah, yep, forgot about that. Trying to
Yep.
get them all, but that was it for the most part. But I guess the trick that we learned, I mean, for the first time, I mean, most of the people we were playing at those events, you play with online,
Right.
so you could kind of, I
Yeah.
mean, people playing style after you play them once or twice, you could kind of gauge
Hmm.
how they're gonna play. So I mean, when you were prepping for those, you had a bare idea what deck you could see. But going down to Florida with the majority of people you haven't played with,
Yeah. I'd say that's probably one of the things that was the wild card is, there are a lot of good players in Florida and they have a pretty good, or I should say solid number of people that play. So I feel like they all knew what they were going to do, and are used to each other, but it was relatively unknown for me. So like I went into the mindset as if I was preparing for a Gen Con, or I was preparing for a midwinter or a tournament where I'm expecting a lot of people to show up, a lot of people to do testing and try to play into like the meta of the format, because incursion has transformed so much since the first rendition of it to where it is now. So being that I just came off of a tournament where we played incursion, I kind of carried a lot of like, all right, these were the heavy hitters, this is what I saw. Not thinking like, hey, this group has their own incursion list that they usually play off of, and they could, take their meta in a completely different direction, which is kind of what happened.
So more so they have like a home field advantage. So normally you play on neutral fields where you kind of know what's going on, but this time,
Right.
so I mean, good news is the last two regional were won by local people to end the versus run a thing. So that's always
Yeah,
interesting.
that's always good to see for sure. So, but rewarding the local community that supports the game. So
So I guess we'll spend a little time on this because I think we have other things to talk about other than regionals
hmm
today, right? So
yeah, yeah,
you got to Florida. They had a draft that I know you didn't get to because of your time
yeah.
of arrival, correct?
Correct. Yeah, I missed
Okay.
out on the draft that they did.
Okay, so you did end up playing. Did everybody play all 5 rounds there? I didn't.
Yes.
Okay, so there were no drops, so that's always a good time. So I mean, first it's about having a good time, and I think that did get missed a lot during the time of verses, but
Right.
sometimes playing for a good time is not a bad thing.
Not at all. I mean, that is the original reason why I started playing the game. And if we're calling a spade, Upper Deck never made anybody rich off of what their prize
Right.
support. You know what I'm saying? So like, I think everybody plays for fun, and for the camaraderie, and it's cool to hang out with people doing stuff that you love to do. So
All right, so first I'm gonna bring up your deck list. So we're gonna go over your deck list kind of briefly.
okay.
I'm not putting a time limit on because them will always lies. But we're
Yeah.
gonna go over your deck list. So because like I said, we talked about Dark. So basically, people don't know. I can't really. Well, back in the past, I couldn't play incursion, but apparently that may change going forward.
It's a new day, big dog. You know what I'm saying?
I'm free. I'm
He's
free.
free. That's right.
so
It's a new day.
so so I'm like, man, I would love to see some photos. So I mean, I did some tests. Like, so if I would, just to let people know, if I would have went to this, I would have still been on WandaVision. I've been telling people that the deck I've been wanting to bring to events, but I can't play, so But so I dabble with Dark Phoenix to try to give somebody different, and give people different look. And Tevon kind of liked that, so we went with that. We did talk about Dormammu, but when he said he was gonna play a photo deck, I was like, yes, team photo, let's go.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Dormammu, basically we try and deck you out. That's
Right.
a whole goal. We don't care about I mean, it'd be nice if we finish you off, but we try and deck you out. So he got
hmm
7 health. So the first thing, like 7 health, check. Okay, we got his wows for those, check. Got his locations, check, and we got Avenger Tower for some of the other characters. So plot twist. I guess we'll go over the plot twist first, and then the character probably would make more sense.
Yeah.
So obviously for plot twist, I went for the head. It's just a good clearance stuff, right?
Yep.
Um
Yeah. Anything that's problematic, you can just get it off the board.
with anybody that, as long as they got a striking ability.
hmm
2 more goals in this place. It's just for the card draw. I mean, I think if you count the number of times this is played, probably less than 10% of the time you're actually trying to get a stun back with it.
Right. It happened once or twice, but
But
that was not the goal. The goal was to get cards in hand. Yeah.
and I get to stun you. That's like a bonus. Like that's
Oh
like the
yeah.
cherry on top.
That was definitely the cherry.
So our eagle. So our eagle will basically there for the greatest symbol.
Yep.
So like basically you change Dumont name something with Captain America in it. You could go from there, but Captain America blank blank blank. Captain
hmm
America Dumont, Captain America Spider-Man, whatever. But then they give you the ability, as long as you have a hero on the field, to activate the greatest symbol. Um, and
Right.
then finally, let's go through the support character. Ant-Man, hero, 1 drop. and you weaken the main character, so hopefully to try to slow them down
Yeah.
a bit to make your seven. You try to make your seven last so you can deck them out. That's really the goal of this deck. Yeah. If I'm saying
Hmm.
anything wrong, I know I'm saying a lot. Like this is my deck. This is our deck.
No, no, you're right. You got it. You got
uh,
it.
Heindel, hero, one drop. Hugh Campbell Sr. He already been around for us for our photo days, so
Hmm.
boosting defense, keeping that seven alive, rescue, try and make that seven last.
Hmm.
Frigga, discarding the player's hand to help to get to that deck out point.
Right.
Mordo, he's just more so just to try to slow down MCs. I mean, more so extend life, but so because hiding behind the 5 to 8 defense person is usually a good thing.
Right.
Killmonger, the same concept. Vision is probably our fighter.
Yep.
Air protection if we need, if Dumont need to be in the bag, he can stand behind, the
Yeah, he
white
definitely gained you in life. You definitely get another turn if you got vision in front. So.
and hero,
Yep.
and then mind game Loki. So that's the deck.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, we thought it was a good plan going forward. But I think, like I said, what you ran into, which you'll be talking a lot more about because so we got down there. Before you start your first round, do you had a feeling what people was playing? Were there any like? No, are you just like I had to wait to see once people start flipping. After the first round, you start seeing what people was playing. Now, when do you actually get
Yeah.
this?
So it wasn't really any like nobody was like showing their list or had their card out. Everybody was kind of off doing their own thing because there was enough space for everybody to kind of be, filling out their deck lists and things like that. I really had nothing, no idea what to expect other than what Scott and PJ were on because I was practicing with Scott, um, Kaz the night before, so he had shown me kind of some of the stuff that he was playing. And then PJ had sat down and told us that he was going to go with the build that he had, uh, with the Thor that he had built. But other than that, I didn't really see or know what to expect. I know, I mean, I know what I planned for, but that didn't show up at all, which is very surprising. So,
Okay, so and then let me just make sure I announce this. I don't want to leave anything out, but
mhm.
We were at Emerald City store, right? I'm
Yes.
guessing
Yep.
a gaming comic book store.
Yes, it was actually, man, this store was humongous. We They have like a really big collection of like actually backlog comics and things like that. So you could see full collections. They got games. The store setup was awesome. I believe it was Chris ran the event. He was awesome there. And it was a really good setup. It was a good day of cards. Everything was very well organized. Everybody had more than enough space, and the community, like as soon as we walked in, John, introduced himself, made sure that everybody knew what was going on, knew where Chris was, knew where to sign in, was talking, meeting with everyone. His son was there helping. And it was very, very welcoming, I could say, as an out of towner kind of coming into that community. It was awesome. So hats off to the store owners for letting us use the space, Chris for organizing it, and then for everybody for being so hospitable and friendly.
Okay, now let's get to the ass whoopings.
Yeah, yeah, they were very nice before they started whooping that ass. So,
All right, so table C. Speaking of John, so you sit across from John from Deadpool. What's your immediate
yeah.
first thoughts when you see the matchup?
So I see Deadpool, and I'm thinking, man, I haven't seen this card in a while. And he's on Underworld because the only Deadpool that I've been thinking about lately was that the supporting character X Men and the House of X Deadpool. So it didn't even dawn on me that he was Underworld until we actually started playing the game. And this cool thing that he had was he had the little Deadpool figurine that said a voice every time he hit it. So he had that all set up, which reminded me of my little 3D Doom that I got from us winning that the boss tournament that looks over my opponent stuff. And I was like, I probably got a shot because when you look at Deadpool, he ain't got no dang superpowers on him. So I was thinking he might not be running a lot of lokes. So I might have a shot at being able to deck him because he has to get all the way to level 4 before he even starts using lokes. So
Okay.
I thought I had a chance.
All right. So let's talk about reality now.
Yeah. Reality was he was on Deadpool and he was playing loyal Deadpool. So my first opportunity to try and start removing cards from the game, he hit me with a stand together. So now I'm like, oh crap,
I think I lost you. You still there? Okay, there you
he's on that. Oh. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. So I'll say it again, but I go to decking with Dormammu's yellow, and he plays Stand Together. So now I'm thinking, okay, he's on loyal. Oh man, he's on Underworld. That means he's got Crossbones, he's got Hammerhead, and he's got Unwavering. So I was like, I might be in trouble here. Um, Dormammu was not set up to be fighting and engaging with him. So like, even though he should have been able to get hit, I didn't have enough to be able to stun him. So I was kind of at the mercy of whatever he's doing. They all got range, and it was a dogfight.
All right.
So
Do you thought about not playing like characters to try to keep his level slow? Did any of that cross your mind, or do you just play your game, man?
well, you know what? That didn't even become a thing because I didn't even have a supporting character play
Okay.
until 3. I
Okay.
play Mordo, and Mordo gives him 10 XP off the rip
Oh
because he's
yeah.
a 5/4
Right.
with 1
Okay.
health.
Right.
So now I'm like, oh, well, I played into his game even
Right.
harder. But the problem was he was stunning me
Right.
because he had Deadpool and like someone else with range, and he was just team attacking. And then he got out. It was a mess. I remember the turn where I knew I was gonna lose is turn 3. He played his third supporting character. I believe it was Crossbones, and then he played. He runs into Dormammu with Crossbones because the guy's 5 for the melee. He plays not finished left yet. He hits me with his main, and then he plays not finished yet again, and then hits me with Hammerhead with the power up, or unwavering loyalty. So I took 3 wounds in one turn. So that 7 health I went from 2 to 5 on turn 3,
Hmm.
and I was like, yeah, this isn't looking good.
Okay. I
So
enough of yeah,
mhm,
yeah.
that was it.
I won't make you relive that
Yeah, I
anymore.
would say I'm having trauma right now. I would
Yeah.
love to.
Just thinking about training day right now. Have you ever had
Yeah.
Have you ever had
Oh,
pushed
yeah.
inside of you before? All right, let's go to the next one. Next one. Next
Oh
one.
man.
All right, so now Buckeye on Buckeye, you get Scott. So yeah, did y'all test this matchup before? I know you.
We we did not. So Scott did not. He tested with some of the other decks that he brought, but I did not test against his Taskmaster. So
Okay.
I didn't know what to expect. But again, I would assume that it was loyal, and try to plan for that.
Did they were about the same results, or did it go a little
Um.
differently?
So I was like, with Taskmaster, I know he had Loki, so decking him was probably out the window. But the thing that I learned from you is like, sometimes I would play the game and I get caught between strategies. I'm like, it's Dormammu. Should I try to deck him, or can I actually try and fight back a little bit?
Right.
So I made a commitment. I need to commit to the win condition. So like
Right.
that's what I was doing. Not to say that I wasn't taking opportunities. So
Right.
in this match, I had more of a chance than I should have had because Scott wasn't pulling the blues like he should have, and Taskmaster only has a 2 butt.
Right.
So he went first. Turn 1 stuns me. My turn 1, I play Ant Man, get the stun back
Right.
because he gets the -2,
Right.
and he's only got a 2 butt. So now we're even, and I have someone to help block.
Right.
He takes his next turn. He copies ability, so he gets the bigger butt.
Right.
Stuns me. My next turn, I put down a blue, so I'm at 2 Lokes. I play Heimdall. I spend Heimdall to get an Ant-Man, put 2 negs on him. So, past turn, his butt falls off and he stuns.
Yeah.
And so I got, I was able to do that. That was like the best trickery that I had. But I'm like, that was basically all it was for me because he also got a not finished yet, so was able to get his wound acceleration on. And we didn't have enough fighters. Like
Okay.
their butts weren't big enough, and he was able to kind of mount an offense and had leader out, so they're ranged attacking safely, and he was able to continue to manipulate the board to, where he could basically hold out and get the win.
All right. All right. So game 3 we had you to buy. So you played Steph John's son for the
Yeah,
and you used the Dark Phoenix deck for that one and
I did, and he had an Annihilus deck that was pretty good. And he beat me. We played 2 games. He beat me the first game. I ended up beating him the second game. But it was funny. He had a very we were looking for a ruling on something for a different game that he played.
yeah.
He had Annihilus. He leveled up to level 2, and for the level 1,
Right.
you shuffle the card back into the deck.
Right.
He was playing a Baron Mordo
Right.
and they hypnotized him to go back to level 1.
Right.
And we didn't know how that interaction would work. If he goes in and gets his level 1 out of his deck and puts it back, or if he just would proxy a card in
So
until it was done.
if I was a judge, I don't know if I'm still considered a judge anymore. I don't know that's even a
Hey,
thing
you
anymore.
don't judge we know, dog. You know that.
But I would say that it would just fizzle out just because the level one in the hidden area, very similar to like the Hulk,
hmm
like the MCU Hulk Bruce Banner, because he
Right,
actually don't have a. I mean, the Hulk actually don't have a level one. The same way like with Archangel and Angel.
right.
I don't know if you
It's-
ever seen that. Like I said, it level up into the Archangel, but technically Archangel don't really have a level one.
right. It's a different card.
He
Yeah.
transforms. So that's how I would play. Like I said, obviously I don't know, the intent of all these calls, but my rule would have been if in that case would have been it fizzle out because since that card either in the deck or hand in the hidden area.
Right.
Now if it was like we
But
move from player from in the level up zone, then it would go back.
right. But that is different, and I just want to clarify that would be different from if you were playing with Mystique and let's say you leveled into Fing Fang Foom level 2
Right,
for her level up.
right.
If he got hypnotized, you would still go to level 1 even though you didn't bring it with you or if it wasn't there.
Correct, because like I said she almost becoming that whole character.
Right. Okay.
So like I said,
Awesome.
not like I said, if it became level two Archangel and she couldn't be hypnotized at Angel level one because
Right.
that's actually a different character because he transformed.
Right.
Transform level two different thing, but yeah, that would be the gist of it.
Okay.
All right,
Perfect.
all right. So but you did get a win there in the buy,
Yeah. I mean, I
and
did. Hey, listen, and was happy about it too. I almost did a cartwheel.
okay.
Got my real victory.
So next you play Jason.
I did. And Jason was on Jen Walters, the new She-Hulk, and it was unfortunate for him because he only had 4 greens. So turn 1, I did Dormammu's power, got 14 cards.
Yeah.
Turn 2, I was able to do again and got 24 cards.
Right.
And it was, he basically had the God hand draw that he wanted, but that means that he had Hulks and greens in his hand.
Right.
So he was able to, get her bit, with the counters
Right.
and healing the wounds and did all that, but he ran out of cards and we were able to get the win from the win condition. So that was the one time it did work. So
Right. Yeah, and I actually tested that matchup against Jason.
mhm.
So I had played tests against him. Like obviously I didn't tell you who Jason was playing, but I knew who he was
Right.
playing. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, I had tested that particular matchup just to try to get him look because, like I said, at that point I think we thought he was still on Dark Phoenix there. But
Right.
uh,
Yeah, but he had a great deck though.
right.
He always
I
had
know.
very, very clever decks.
Yeah.
It was a super bad matchup for him.
And then finally you went with Justin W. So who was he on?
He was on Daredevil mono, and it was
Okay.
another
Okay.
basically stand together fest, unwavering loyalties.
Okay.
Defender has really good help on team, so he was able to get
And healed.
all the
Yeah.
ones he
Yeah.
needed. Yep.
Okay. So now let's get to the real part of the tournament. Now that you 1-4, right?
Mm-hmm.
How did they select the big card? I know this is important because you got who you want. How
Well, yeah.
how did you get there? That's why because I don't know none of the positive. How did you get there?
So technically, I was 2-4 or 2 and
Okay.
what? 3?
Oh
Yeah,
you
yeah.
beat
Let's
Jason. You
get
beat
my
Jason.
record right now.
Yeah.
Come on, dog.
Oh, sorry. 2-3. Like I said, you might practice one. I'm gonna
Yeah,
practice.
yeah.
I don't want to
I
get
need.
I don't want to get wrong with the winners, but the loser,
Okay, dog. Temporary loser, right?
Right.
But so he, Chris, I'm so sorry if I'm getting his name wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's Chris. He said when he submitted his list for the big cards, he wrote down like all the cards that he would want, period,
Right.
and they sent them all to him.
Okay.
So I know that you've all seen in some pictures, but there were
Yeah.
16 big cards there.
Right.
So what they did was they went in order of how you ranked, and they let you pick a card. So like basically a big card was a participation
Right.
award for this event. And for those of you that don't know, I actually started playing this game. It was from Big Mr. Ben's build phase, but once I found out that you could use Doctor Doom as an actual character, that's why I started playing the game. So God Emperor Doom level 3 was one of the big cards. Now, when we first got there and I saw it, that and the Fantastic Four Doctor Doom was there. And, I would accept either, but the God Emperor one was definitely number one on my list. So I was talking, I'm like, I really want that card. Now, Jose was there, Screamer, on Discord, and he actually won the God Emperor Doom at the Gen Con. Was it Gen Con?
Delaware.
One of the,
It was
yeah,
Delaware.
Delaware, yeah. He won it there. and I tried to trade him for it. I have a dream realized that he said that was the favorite art on the card. I tried to trade him with that, but he wasn't parting with it, and I can understand. So we were talking, and he was like, "Yeah, I don't plan on winning, but if I do, and I get to pick a card, he's like, I kind of got to get that card. I got the level 1, and the
Right.
level 3 would be sweet." And I said, "I understand, but you still got to make it to the card. So you do what you got to do,
Right.
but just friendly jest." Um, so they started picking, and the person who ended up winning the whole thing, he had first pick. He was in first place, I believe,
Yeah.
undefeated.
Yeah.
He gave his pick to one of the other locals that was playing there, and they picked the Miles Morales card, which is amazing. The art on that card is really
Right.
sweet. That's some cool art.
Right.
He picked that one. Then people started picking, and then Jose was fourth. So Jose, as expected, goes straight up to God Emperor Doom, picked him. So my heart hurt a little bit, but
Right.
I was like, hey, I could have played. I should have played better,
Right.
whatever, whatever. And then this fool walks up to me and hands me the card. So, even though I lost, this is the greatest tournament that I've been in because I got my dream big card in God Emperor Doom. So I hugged him profusely. I thanked him, and that was just an awesome gesture from a colleague. You know what I'm saying? To make sure that I got something that was going to mean a lot to me. So this big shout out to Jose, aka Screamer. You're okay in my book. You know what I'm saying? So, but then people were picking, and this is again where I'm speaking to the kindness of the Florida community.
Right.
Everybody got the exact card that they wanted, and it wasn't because they were always going to be readily available, but people were like, "Hey, man, if you want this card, I'm taking something else. Hey, you can go ahead of me." Like the person who won the tournament actually went last because he let me pick ahead of him to make sure Jose could get the Spider Noir, and then after me was Jason, who wanted the Jen Walters because he was playing Jen Walters, and that's one of his favorite cards. So he got
Right.
Jen Walters. PJ got the Spider-Man with the invention, the Fantastic Four Spider-Man. And
Scott got Moon Knight.
yep, Scott got Moon Knight, which he had a crazy Moon Knight deck
Yeah.
build, which he probably could have played and did well with. But
That way he played at Gen Con.
right. But it probably would have, with some of the alterations he made, it probably would have performed
Okay.
well in Florida with the way the decks were. But everybody basically got a card that they wanted, which is it's bittersweet because it's the last cards that we're probably going to see from Upper Deck, but
So
it's kind of an awesome way.
and I want to point something out when I thought wasn't the greatest sign in the world when I seen the big cars.
Yeah,
I seen two of those big cars and I had to look up on my wall like I got the Mano Thanos and
right,
Hammond Everbull. Or those? Did somebody come in my house and steal those and take them to
right, right.
Florida? Like because
Yeah. So,
it used to be they didn't make duplicates of any of the big cars.
hmm
So the
but
fact
yeah,
that
a lot of them were reprints. So
right,
it was like,
the fact you see large number and reprints is like
right,
it like they it like some it like somebody when they may be about to end it like let me get rid of my earthly possessions.
right.
So
Yeah, for sure.
so let's bring us to our next conversation. If we just found out a couple hours ago, I don't know where you was when you found it, but I think I was on Discord. Like, oh look, Miss posted on Discord. Let me see what Upper Deck article. Let me see what this about. And
Right.
then read like, yeah, surprised,
Mm-mm.
but I mean, I guess it was like I said, if the sign was on the wall, so I mean, it's not like
Right.
a letdown. It wasn't like they were hyping us up, like go all in on verses because we're gonna be here forever.
Right.
10 more years, like no, it was kind of, but like I said, and like I've been saying all along, Buckeye is still going to be there,
Right.
and I think I hate to say this, I mean I love everything Upper Deck had done for me, my family, my friends, the group they got together. I mean, great thing, but I think this should make Buckeye better.
Yeah. So I put it to you like this. Again, there was never enough money being paid from Upper Deck in these tournaments to like change someone's life, right?
Right,
This isn't my professional career. I got into this game off of community events, off of Buckeye, off of Bill Faze. I met the people that I consider colleagues, friends, and opponents through those same community events. I'm gonna be honest. I get more excited for a Buckeye tournament than I probably have been for some of the regionals, um, or some of the organized play events. And I think this is a game that really has been driven by the community. So now it's kind of like Upper Deck's like, you know what? you're right. We're just gonna turn the reins back over to you. We're not backing it with money, but all the cards are still there. All the players are still here. All the community ideas are still here, and we kind of got more free reign to do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying?
I
So
I mean
I'm I'm excited.
and I'm gonna be honest. I think versus is played better when it's less competitive.
Hmm.
Because I mean,
Yeah.
you could try these big combos that you're not going to take with you. I
Right.
mean, in a Buckeye League, you be willing to give Kid Kaiju a try, or even have that conversation. You're not even talking about that conversation for a
Yeah.
regional,
No, not at all.
right?
Not at all.
That like
Right.
taking
And
that like taking a punter in fantasy football.
right. And that's the other thing too. Like there is still highly competitive play in these community events,
And,
tournaments, and leagues. And they took the shackles off you, dog. You
right,
can get back into the game, dog. You
right,
know what
yeah.
I'm
I mean,
saying?
like I said, midwinter. I may be judging and sitting at the table. I mean, if you don't want me to sit at the table, I'm cool with that too. I understand you need a judge,
Right.
but the other chance I might be was I mean, we can still keep encouraging going. I mean, there's just so many things. Like me, after like I said, I think we're going to get a new. I was told we were supposed to get a new format at the end of the month, so we'll get
Hmm.
one more format. But
Hmm.
after that, Buckeye League, we're gonna be making our own format for our thing. And like I said,
Right.
we could get interesting with our formats.
Right.
We don't have the legal tie down. Like you can't mix Marvel and Buffy together in the same thing and report. We can't. We're not legally tied to that.
Right.
We still got Buckeye League play, so I mean,
Hmm.
we still gonna be getting the promos. So like I said, when people buy a new set is coming out tomorrow, so when you
Yep.
buy that box, you can still send me that and get league promos from Mark. Mark is still gonna send me the league for at least the rest of the year. So we at least
Right.
know they're going for the rest of the year. So we're gonna get promos. He's gonna give me the promo from this set. There may be other promos that may come in line with that, but I'm still working with him on
Right.
that. But like I said, our yearly tournaments, could be a little longer, or our drafts could be 6 weeks, but we could spread it out. It don't have to be at set time because we sometimes had to crunch some of these draft events into smaller window because of regional or because the format or it was after our yearly event. But now we could kind of spread it out, try to keep it fresh, and wonder is there still gonna be a midwinter? That's a good question, Scott. I do want to reach out, and find out about that. I plan on going to midwinter. I mean, short of somebody saying there is no versus, I have every intention of
Right.
being there. But I'll probably reach out to Peter to get a hard confirmation on that because I mean I plan on still going midwinter with or without upper deck.
Yeah. Me as
So yeah,
well. So I
so
mean, I already bought my stuff, so
right,
I'll be
right,
there.
right. So I mean, it's still a good time. If this the last one, we'll go out with a bang. If it's not the last one, we still gonna have a bang time. So I mean,
Right.
we did it without the lights.
Right. Right. And that's the thing to me. Like the game is not dead. It's just they're not paying for the organized play or anything like that. But people were playing the game without that before. You know what I'm saying? So like
Uh,
it's just I look at it as turning the game over to the players, and the people who love the game are will continue to participate. And I think online play and stuff like that has actually been growing. You
And,
know what I mean?
and
Um,
I think the other big thing about this is the sets being. I mean, people love new cars. Don't get me wrong. I love new cars too. I've been testing new cars, but the thing it seems like that sometimes they've been coming out so fast. You haven't been able to go all the way down and just test all the cars in a set.
right,
Because every time a set come out, you had to a competitive event. It's something you can't really. But now it's like we could build these crazy formats that may need rules. I mean, we could update the rules on the spot so they're no questionable. Like we could tell you what MC is not allowed. We could just. I just feel like we
yeah,
could do a lot better ruling and judgment of cars,
right,
and I think some of these, I mean, formats I had heard online, formats I had thought about in my head. I mean, I just think we could do some good. I think there's at least 2 or 3 good more years of this game.
right,
If you wanna play, there will be a place to play. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean,
right,
I know we're still working with Scott. We plan on having an event in Ohio still at Epic Loot.
right,
That's the
right,
other thing I'll talk about, Scott. Like maybe this is all this is still in the playing phase. But like we everybody paid $20, and then we'll use that for the prize money for the event. I mean, yeah, it not the $1,000, but I mean, unlike Upper Deck, I mean, if you look at a numbers game, how much Upper Deck were paying out compared to how much they were taking in, that them numbers can't be
Right.
good. I mean,
Yeah,
I
they're good.
I can't I can I don't know how they were taking it to their boss every year. Like, okay, show us the versus number. Bring the versus number forward.
Right.
And then you put it on the table. Are you not entertained? No. I mean, did we just take in $26 and had $2,000-$3,000 regionals?
Yeah, that P&L was definitely looking sick for for versus. I'll tell you that right now.
Because I said, I mean, at least from my understanding, when the store get the money for their event, they don't send that money to Upper Deck.
Right.
That-
So
yeah. So I mean, do you think they'll post any encouraging list from Florida? That is an interesting question, Scott. Also with the Buckeye League, I'm thinking about trying to keep encouraging going. I'm gonna get a feel for that as well. Give a couple months, see if they do like a final encouraging list, and then maybe take it from there. But luckily with this encouraging, we got all the encouraging lists. So I mean, maybe get a group of people, make a small squad of people to, maybe keep the encouraging going, so that's something we
yeah,
can maybe do once a year and maybe just hit it harder once a year.
right. And that's the thing. I mean, y'all, you still got the council. You know what I'm saying?
Right?
So
Yeah.
I would expect the decisions that y'all would make collectively, and like you could even do it as. I mean, it could be. Well, I don't know. I don't know. It's just
It,
what is it? The world is your oyster. There's
yeah,
tons, like you
right.
said. There's so many different things you can do.
Yeah.
And to me, we were talking about this. Man, this helps me remember. Hey, there's some really good cards that I haven't touched in a really long time because of the way the formats have been shaking
Right.
out.
Right.
So it gets you back into your whole. Hey, guess what? You don't only need the last two binders that you have. You can get back into the whole binder and build decks and get more creative and look at how newer cards interact with some older cards that haven't been around. I'd love to see a boomerang come back down
Mm.
on a board
I mean,
and do some damage.
so so crazy formats I think about because I know with Buckeye we do a lot of drafts and stuff. So I'm
Hmm.
like, what if we do a format where you get two volumes, like so the pre-volume and the volume 1 through 6. You get two
Hmm.
volumes that not connected to each other, and you build deck from those two volumes. Just to kind of mix it up and change it up a bit. I mean, I think this thing get a lot of things you could do still.
Yeah.
A lot of things I want to do, a lot of things I am gonna do.
Right.
We still gonna have lead play. Like I said, and like I said, Mark gave me a stack full of play mats, so I still got a bunch of Sinnoh Venom play mats. I mean, yeah, you ain't gonna get the coolest prizes, like a 3D print from Joe, or nothing like that.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Hey, but you gonna win. And
right,
that's what it is. You play the game, you get to
right.
win.
So I mean, I would keep. I mean, like I said, the Panini Dragon Ball game that I got you into, Tevin. That been
Yep.
there for you got in the game after it's died, which is the fancy version of it. I still was playing that at Gen Con.
Yeah, and
I
for
mean,
that, they were still people. Community was making cards that are
right.
legal for play that were cool. You get to, that's very fun game.
I mean, I think this. I mean, I think still things I do. So basically, I think we're gonna be at a crossroads here. I think
Hmm.
either A, you're gonna have the people. He said he want to do a boss battle with Doctor Strange. Maybe they'll make their own. Check that out. So I think basically what's gonna happen here, like we're gonna when versus OP come to the end, which is gonna be shortly, we come into the crossroads. We're gonna have the players like, you know what? I'm happy where life has taken us. I'm gonna go out
Right.
for. But then we're gonna have the group of people like, look, there's still Buckeye League. There may be online thing popping up. There may be local events. I know Midwinter still hopefully Midwinter still happening. I'm 90% sure. Peter, I'm pretty sure said that Midwinter definitely happening. So
Right.
I would say 90% sure that's happening. I had to get full confirmation from him. But I know we plan on having something in Ohio again at Epic Loot.
Right.
I mean, Scott's the store owner. We can make that happen. And I'm pretty sure like places like Florida still gonna have their locals. I mean, the West Coast group. I think they in California or Sacramento. They're somewhere in
Yeah.
California. But what changed? They're still gonna be doing the same thing. I mean, if you enjoy
Right.
playing it, what changed? Nothing.
Well, and here's my thing. You know, it's a lot easier to invest in a dope webcam setup than to travel to 4 places throughout the year to play this game.
Right.
So, if anything, this is reallocate your travel funds to getting a dope setup, and you are going to have more access to playing this game than you may have had before. I know people who can't travel because of family, distance, financial.
Mm.
Go to Amazon, get you a webcam, right? Win a playmat or just join the league online, get you a playmat from that, and then you have a community of people who are ready to play this game continuously.
So right now, like I
Yeah,
say, if you join any of the Buckeye format league, you could pay $10 shipping to get a play mat. A
mm-hmm.
minimum single play mat. Guarantee. All you gotta do is sign up and say I will be there. And you send me $10, you got yourself a play mat.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, I just think, yeah, I think we lose some of the top people. I think Star Wars going, siphon
Mm-hmm.
some. Lord Conda going siphon some. Neopet gonna take one or two. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I,
That's a fun game too. The
I,
people, I hope they're not hating on them sleeping on that game.
but
Neopets is fun.
I know some people have feel like I like I said I wasn't part of the first verses, and I know like I said there was some bad blood with that when how the first verses went down and kind of come back in. If I
Mm-hmm.
know like I said Upper Deck there made some bad blood there, but no, the white guy in the Neopet, so I'm playing Neopet, so that still thing legendary so I don't know, like I said, I'm getting ready to start a legendary got league play.
Oh
They
yeah,
got
I'm in
Discord.
on that too. Yep, you got me in on that.
But yeah, so their event start next week.
Mm-hmm.
They got 113 people signed up for that.
And that's wild. That's a wild number for just a community event with no prizes. The prizes you get to pick schemes for the next event.
Right. They have some promo they pass out. They do like a lottery or maybe have a couple promo. But yeah, like I said, that's legendary with 113 people. David, are there unpublished sets you and Roland had playtests that may be released for public print coming? I see where you're going, Scott, and I gotta get confirmation on that, Scott. That really gonna be a thing. Most like if I get good confirmation on that, that will probably be something I will lock down to the Buckeye Discord. Like you won't see it posted anywhere else. It'd be a hole in the Buckeye Discord that made. But I know there's still like a timetable in ND. I just gotta figure out all the legal stuff because I love playing this game, but I'm not playing trying to find no glitch and get caught up.
Right.
But no, that I mean that is that. But Scott, that is a thought that I have. To the people that I know closely, I've been talking about that concept, um, but yeah, like I said, they're all sets that I have tested that have not been released. I can't. That's not saying much. So, but they're sets I have tested that have not been released. Yes.
And let's they stopped organized play. That they didn't say they killed
Right.
the game yet.
Right.
So
Right.
they may still be sitting on product
Right.
that they can release because if they made it and they could sell it, they're probably going to try and sell it. So like
Right.
we could still be hopeful. Um, but it's almost like passing the torch over to the people that was keeping it lit anyway. So
But
I don't see it as a bad thing.
But like I said, I plan on doing this for a few years. So I mean, like I said, 2-3 years from now, we could reevaluate. I mean, because like I said, I'm pretty sure people gonna make. I'm pretty sure we'll see Apex get back. That doing the thing they were doing.
Hmm.
So,
So
but yeah, like I said, I mean, so yeah, if it get down the line, NDA's clear and then not like I get the blessing, get the knighted thing, the sword on both shoulder type thing. Yeah, we could have some idea from SAG that like okay, we could take that, just bring their ideas over and figure it out from there. But that is still down the road, but it had been talked about, Scott. That's I guess the most I could say now without. I mean, like I said, I haven't done nothing with none of that stuff yet, but that is a thought that I have been thinking about because, like I said, I kind of seen the writing on the wall like Gen Con. I mean, not surprising. I thought for versus to keep going, I feel like we needed 32 from both days at Gen Con.
right,
I figure if we got 64 total, because they looking at total number. I know people were like, why they do 2 days and blah blah blah, because they were trying to help versus out. Because let's just say overall, what we had like 25 total people playing. But if you look at how many tickets got handed in, there were what like 20 the first day and another 18. So now there's 38 people. It looks like.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're just counting by the ticket submissions. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, yeah, Scott. Like I said, I do appreciate that. So yeah, I understand, but I have been thinking about Scott. I know you try to avoid it. Yeah, like I said, it's a fine line. Like I said, obviously people know I'm a tester, so that's not like that's not like hidden news or anything like that. I mean, I had test other game for Upper Deck as well. Like I said, I tested Neopets and like I know they had that Tiny Teen Gen Con. I test it. I didn't test the Halo game they had, but I got to play that Gen Con. It's a interesting game. Interesting. But yeah, but a new set come out tomorrow. I was thinking about doing a set. Like I said, I mean, I'm gonna give people a week because I know we got the Apex people may still do their. Burt will hit New York Men. I would love to see him do that, and maybe even Mr. Ben may do a set recap. But
Right.
if not, it, if I had to pick up that slack, I would be there.
Right.
Uh,
Well, we're here to support for sure.
right.
So.
And like I said, I think like I said right now with Rollin and Earl, I think we got a good support. And I mean, we may have to
Hmm.
expand that a little bit. We like I mean just to because we still want to make this as best and as fun as possible. I think, like I said, 13 seasons of Buckeye showing we at least doing something right.
Right.
The fact,
Exactly.
I mean, there are people signing up has signed up today for the draft format. People have signed up today for that. I'm up to like 11 or 12 people already signed up for an event on the same day that the game was announced dead. So there are people
Right.
who still want to play, and we still will be playing versus. I mean, yeah, it's not going to be at the level where you can win thousands of dollars. I don't have that for you. What I do have for you is the Chris High Five and maybe a playmat. So,
Right. Right.
so yeah, I think that I mean that sums it up. But like I said, midwinter something in Ohio. But that's still game to be played. But like I said, Lord Connor gonna grab a couple. Star Wars probably, people gonna probably get more into them. May not have time, but if you want to come back and just try it out once in a while in the next year or two, we still plan on being here.
That's right.
We'll have the Discord. You'll see the message. We'll still have the YouTube channel. It's still gonna be Buckeye and Friend, and not versus Buckeye and Friend. It's Buckeye and Friend. I think me and Rollin, we like I said, we start our legendary tournament, so we always scream our legendary game. We're gonna scream playing Invincible. That's a great game. So we're gonna scream doing that. I think that's gonna be fun for me and Rollin. I don't know who it's gonna be fun for people watching, but it's gonna be fun for us. I
Right.
mean, I think there's still a lot of things to do. Play.
And the community's still growing. There's a lot of new players that I've seen
Right.
in the discords and learning and getting the sets that are available
I
and
mean,
playing the game. So
yeah,
just
I got about like 8 people in my in the Buckeye League play right now, and I think one, two, I want to say three of them are newer players.
right.
One is from California, two from Texas, but they newer player. But people, I mean, you can still play game. I mean, if you're here to play the game, I mean, nothing for those people, nothing has changed.
Right.
I mean, if you in Canada, like Pokey in Canada, nothing had changed for him.
Right.
I
Yep.
mean, if he wasn't going to the regional, so let's just say what maybe let's just say a small hypothetical 100 people playing versus, right? Let's say hypothetical. Most event maxed out at like 30. Let's just say 30 players was the max we would see at an event.
Hmm.
So that means there's 70 players who wasn't even touching these old P sets.
Right.
There may be about another 20 of those that going to the local store, like who was doing the league playing stuff at Florida and that California and in Ohio and stuff. But now they're doing all online play. But now the Buckeye, I mean, yeah, it's sad. It definitely is sad. Because preparing for a regional is a different thing. Like I said, I did get to play a couple of regional before I became a full-time tester slash judge. So I did get to play in a couple regional, and I know it's a whole different prep and getting ready for that. But I mean, for some people who went to the regional, if you take that part out of versus, that's not the best part of versus you're taking out.
Right.
It's a
Because it's still only one person that wins, and most of the cuts are the top 8. So you know what
right,
I mean. A lot of people were still going there and having the same experience that they would have online if they weren't winning.
right. I mean, now you like I say yeah. I mean, yeah, it sucks. I mean, hopefully we got 2 more sets, maybe more. We hopefully got midwinter, and we'll go from there. But like I said, once we get the next format, like I said, we should get the format by the end of the month. I'm pretty sure they'll probably be pretty quick with that. When we have that format, we will have a format draft in Buckeye. We're gonna
Hmm.
we're gonna do an MC recap. We're gonna then do the draft on the did I say the 8th or the 9th, whatever that Wednesday is, October the 9th. We're gonna do a draft. We're gonna have 6 weeks of league play. That is guaranteed. And then and with that break, after the November break, me and the team will have time to kind of regroup what we want to do. I mean, we could start doing more free for all online. I mean, I don't know how many of y'all have not got the luxury playing a free for all game in versus. I almost want to say that's a different game.
Yeah, it's a different strategy, different game, different aspects, but it's so much fun.
I mean, doing that online is not that. I mean, because you can play through. I mean, yeah, it is a little bit easier for people who know all the cars, but I mean, with the pocket verses that Oz put out there and other stuff, you could usually look up the cars and kind of see what's going on. Just I think there's so much more. Like I said, besides the Buckeye League play, the yearly event, we could start doing free for all stuff again if people want to get into that. I mean,
Yeah,
it's still things we can do and will do.
right,
Uh, you could be there with us or you don't. Either way, we'll still be here if you want to come back later. It's no pressure, and I understand the people who like, you know what, upper deck out, I'm out.
right, right,
Understandable, but I've been reading some. I have been reading a lot of comments and stuff on the Discord. I know Jason one of them saying, the prize are almost like what Tevin been saying. Like the prize was just like, oh, that's something else to play for. But
right.
we would came without those things. I
Yeah,
it, Jeremy on the line. He said, we got to make Nightcrawler MC and support character. Like I said, I'm not the biggest card maker, so we may, like I said, that's something we could dabble into. We could do some of these expansive sets that some of the other groups and card maker had done and get into. But I mean, I know I enjoyed the versus game. I mean, I had went to Delaware just to judge. I had to pay for my hotel room and my gas to get there, just to
hmm,
judge. I had no chance of winning money.
right,
But it's just at this point now you could put in as much as little you want to and get this whatever experience you want out the game now, and I think that where we at.
yep. And that's not a bad place to be.
That's not a bad place to be. So yeah. So I see Jeremy jumped in, Scott. I mean, like I said, yeah. People probably listen to the say. So let me just go ahead and let me bring this to the close end. But I will be back tomorrow. So I'm getting top 8. So I know John and James for sure on the screen tomorrow. I'm gonna try to get Jose. If I don't get him on tomorrow with those two, we're gonna do a separate one with him. And then I think Eric is not. Yeah, Eric is the last one. They try and get a hold of. So I'm trying to get all the top 4. So we could do a recap. I want to talk to them, and I want to say talk to that about their play group. I mean, I think this is a good time to talk. Why
Right,
not?
yep,
Because I also want people to hear that there are people who still excited about this game.
right,
Um, I run a buck. I mean, I run a buck. I lead a couple other people. I know Rawlings is excited as me. I can speak on his behalf. I think he'll allow me to do that. Tevin, you can hear his voice. He's still gonna be here. I'm pretty sure he can
yep.
talk on Jamil behalf. I think they got like that twin like second sense or whatever you call it.
Yeah, he's sending me messages
Right,
right
yeah,
now.
right,
Yeah,
yeah, right. I'm pretty sure he's gonna be there. I had talked to a couple Buckeye. We still gonna be here. It may not. I mean, it may not be. Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time.
yes, it is.
So but yeah, like I said, I'll be back tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, streaming with the top 4 from Florida. Gonna talk to them about their area and get. I mean, yeah, yeah. Aces and Eight still gonna be doing tournaments. So Jeremy saying Aces and Eight still plan on having their events. So I mean, there's still gonna be tournaments to be played. I mean, I'm pretty sure, like I said, we'll work together. We make sure we're not doing too much overlapping tournament. We don't want 12 tournaments going at the same time either. I mean,
Right.
maybe we do, but who knows? We we have what we could spread out. Like I said, we can now spread out events. Like I said, the format draft don't have to be every quarter anymore. We could kind of plan out and give people time to recoup. We could kind of gauge where the community at. Like, let's take a month break from versus. Cool. Let's get back going strong and get that.
Exactly.
So I mean, Bill Faze may still be out there. What who else will run a tournament? Yeah, I know. My man down in Texas ran his, but I know that had some bumps in it. But I mean, that's still a possibility. But Aces and Ace, us, Bill Faze, I know they are. I mean, Osh had online events. I know he did a couple online events, but he got a little one now, so his time is probably being tied up a little bit more.
Yeah, that does say he got different tournaments he's running
Right,
at the
right.
house.
So but anything you want to get out there and pimp out before?
No, I mean, let's enjoy these two last
Yeah.
sets. If they are the last sets, take it for what they are, and then we still have a time. I mean, I'm looking at my binders now. I got enough
we
cards to keep
we
playing
got
this game for a long time.
we got close to 400 MCs.
Right.
Close to 400. There is so many things. Like I said, so I'm also gonna start. Like I said, I'm gonna try. Like I said, work with Buckeye, figure out what we want to do for format because I want to get good formats out there. I don't want just clunky formats. I want to talk it over with people before. I don't want to throw it against the wall and have us test it. I want us to have ideas, thought it through and then test it out. These different
Right.
formats and stuff. So but yeah, but like I said, I'm still gonna be streaming verses on the channel. Gonna be legendary coming up. We might even sneak a Neopet game or two here.
Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
you don't know, but like I said, we definitely gonna do Invincible. And man, do I talk about the chip on here just to make people feel like what a good time sounds like? Do
I
we
mean,
cover?
I
Uh,
mean, you could. It could be a preview to the future of what's
so
happening with
so
gaming.
because
So
we might be streaming all day at that event. So there are four of
yeah,
us: me, Tevin, Jamil, and then one of my friends. We gonna get Airbnb in February, and we just gonna play some legacy games and just a bunch of games for hours on hours, Monday through Friday. We got an Airbnb, and all we got is games. No wife, no kids. We just gonna play board games.
yeah. So
I mean,
it's gonna be an
I mean,
extravaganza.
I mean, for a married man, that's a great time. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're not married, you probably like these cats. That's it.
Right.
Yeah, no. For a married man, so we keeping everybody honestly.
Yeah. Yeah.
To the best of our ability. You still may want to see where where your game at, but whatever, it's gonna be a good time, and I may try to stream that, and just have a stream and yeah, just put content out there. If you like it, that what's up. If you don't like it, that's what's up, and I'm
Mhm.
gonna have a good time. That's all I know.
That's right. So
So
looking forward to it.
so yeah, so like I said, so Buckeye gonna be around league play. So let me point out that I guess it's real important. We have a set coming out tomorrow, right?
That's
If
right.
if you message me, if you buy the set online and then message me with your receipt, you are in it to Buckeye League play. That's it. That's all it takes. I mean, there's a few other steps too, but that's the gist of it.
Yep.
You play 7 games, you get 6 promo cards and a play mat
And the
for
playmat is pretty dope. So
stuff you already paid for.
yep.
I'm not asking you to. I mean, like I said, you could get one of the Venom or Sentinel playmat for an extra $10 shipping. That's the only shipping you will pay extra, but that because I'm not gonna spend $10 on 100 people. A lot of money. I don't have upper deck money where I could take
Yeah.
that L.
Listen, and apparently Upper Deck ain't got Upper Deck money either for versus. So if they ain't gonna spend it,
Right.
you dang sure
But
shouldn't be spending it.
but like I
So
said, but if you buy the sets, and don't want to spend another dollar, you can just send me that picture of the receipt with the information. Play 7 league games in the Buckeye League channel. You get 6 promos in the card in a playmat. 6 promo card play. You pick, and you get to pick the 6 promo cards you get. So like some of these people already got a level 1, 2, or Y2. Do you need a second one? I don't know. It's your choice. Would you rather have 2 more space and Earth? That's your choice. You pick. But yeah, I just want to make sure that's clear. You can only join the league once at a time, but once you complete the 7 games, you can join the league again on a different receipt. And multiple people could be on the same receipt as well, as long as there's enough set to cover what the league entry would be. And there's a few other rules, but reach out to me if you want. I'm not gonna bog you down with that. I just want to make sure people know, like when you buy your set, Buckeye League plays around. We at least doing it for the end of the year. That's what Upper Deck says in their thing. So we there with them. Um, but I'm pretty sure Mark gonna tell us just do it till you get rid of all his promos because without
right.
OP, what they gonna do with the promos? So yeah, just a little extra. I mean, do what we can. But like I said, if you out, you out. And we love the time you spend here. This was a great community. You will be missed, but always welcomed.
Right.
Don't forget about Rolling on the Resource Roll. he can even afford to keep his cast. He getting a whole new cast. Everybody's just going bankrupt on this game.
Yeah.
I don't know if he getting cheaper people, or I'm pretty sure he'll figure that out later as well. But yeah, so this is my stream for today. I will be doing this again tomorrow at 8ish. If the wife,
There you go.
as long as the wife allows it. I mean, I am still a married man, and she is off tomorrow. But I think I can sneak in an hour and an hour and a half ish to figure it out. So yeah, I think that's everything. You got anything else you want to say?
No, just appreciate the community as always. Keep playing, and I'll see you at midwinter. Hopefully, if that's still going to be a thing, which I think it is. So.
I guess this outro music is gonna be us forever, but let me hit you with it. Y'all have a good night.
Ooh. Oh yeah. Welcome to Buckeyes and Friends. Shuffle up and stay a while. Here we go.